It's the silence you notice first. Not a lack of sound, but a different kind of sound. A quiet that has weight. It's the shape of the space he used to fill, in the chair across the room, in the air that used to hold the low hum of his voice. It's been 23 days and the silence has settled in. During the day, I can fill the apartment with noise. Podcasts turned up a little too loud, music that feels more like a buffer than something to enjoy. But the quiet always comes back at night. It's patient and it always finds me in the dark. My nights fell into a pattern, a painful little habit that started around 3 a.m. I'd wake up suddenly, my heart doing a nervous little rhythm against my ribs, and my hand would reach for my phone before I was fully awake. I'd tell myself I was just checking the time. A small necessary lie. But my thumb would move on its own. Not to his social media, that felt too direct. It would open our shared Amazon account, the one we never got around to unlinking. His order history had become a strange, painful window into his new life. Last week, it was a new set of bed sheets. Queen size. Ours had been a king. My mind unhelpfully drew a picture of him in a smaller bed, in a new room, maybe not by himself. Tonight, it was a coffee maker. A single-serve one. It was such a small thing, but it felt like a statement, quiet but clear. It said, "I make coffee for one now." I could picture him in a kitchen I'd never seen, with the morning light coming in, making 1 cup of coffee in a mug I didn't know. He was just living his life. And I was here, haunting his recent purchases, searching for pieces of a story I was no longer in. The silence in the room felt heavy, like it was pressing on me. And then I did it. The thing you know you shouldn't do. I opened our old text messages. It was like a museum of a life that had ended. I scrolled up past the last few messages about the security deposit, back and back into the warmth. I found a photo he'd sent of a big blank canvas we bought. We were going to try to paint a landscape together. We never got past the first light blue wash for the sky. A little sound escaped my throat, something I didn't recognize. And that's when something in me broke. My heart was beating so fast it felt like a flutter in my chest. A small, clear voice in the back of my mind whispered, "Don't. This is giving away the last part of you that's still yours." But the loneliness was a physical thing, a weight on my chest, and I thought if I could just make one small sound, maybe he'd have to notice. My fingers were trembling. "Did you ever finish the sky?" The words felt so dramatic as I typed them. It wasn't really a question. It was just me, holding out a piece of a memory to see what he'd do with it. My thumb hovered over the send button. I squeezed my eyes shut and pressed it. The little word appeared. Delivered. The moment I hit send, a cold, heavy feeling washed over me. A deep, quiet shame. What had I done? I had taken a memory that belonged to both of us and thrown it at his new life, just to see if it would stick. And now I had to wait in a new kind of silence. The silence of knowing you've been seen and might be ignored. Each second that passed was another second of him choosing not to reply. I held my phone so tight my knuckles were white. For a moment, I wanted to throw it against the wall, just to hear something break. But I didn't. The screen timed out, went black, and for a second, I saw my own reflection. Just my face, pale in the dark with wide, tired eyes. Breaking the phone would have been a relief, and I felt like I didn't deserve one. I got out of bed. The floor was cold. I started to walk back and forth through the 2 rooms that used to be our home. Every object felt like a memory. The plant we bought together, now wilting in the corner. A scuff on the wall from his chair. I felt a deep blush of shame creep up my neck. I didn't sleep again. I just walked until the black sky outside softened into a tired, bruised gray. I knew this was the bottom. The kind of bottom you only find in the gray light before dawn, after a night with no sleep. The next day was a blur. I scrolled on my phone, just looking for a distraction. I ended up on a forum for people who restore old cast iron pans. It was random, but in a thread about seasoning, someone had left a comment. It said, "This is a weird place to post this, but if you're trying to restore yourself, my brother sent me this list." He called it the 7-day grounding wire, just 7 small physical things to do. He said it won't pull you out of the hole, but it can give you something to hold on to so you don't fall any deeper. It helped me, and then there was the list. The list was so simple it almost felt silly. Delete the entire text thread. Block their number. Deep clean one room from top to bottom. For 5 minutes, lie on the floor and stretch. Just notice where your body holds tension. Walk to a nearby store using a route you've never taken. Listen to a full album by an artist you've never heard before. When you start to spiral, pick one object in the room and describe it to yourself in detail. The first thing you do when you wake up, before anything else, is drink a full glass of water while looking out a window, something to hold on to so you don't fall any deeper. I was falling, so I figured, what did I have to lose? Day 1, deleting the texts. This was harder than I thought. Scrolling through years of our life together felt like walking through an old, empty house. Holding my finger down on the delete button felt like quietly closing the door for the last time. Then I blocked his number. My phone suddenly felt quiet. The possibility of him was just gone from it. Day 2, the cleaning. I picked the bathroom. I scrubbed the mirror where I used to see his reflection behind mine. I cleaned the shower until the faint scent of his shampoo was gone. My arms ached, but for an hour my world was small and manageable. Just the smell of bleach and the sound of a sponge. Day 3, the stretching. I lay on the rug in the living room and just moved my body. It felt strange. I noticed a tight knot in my shoulder I hadn't realized was there, a little ball of all the stress I'd been holding. I just breathed into it. It didn't go away, but for the first time I knew it was there. That night I slept for 4 hours without waking up. The next few days were filled with these small, strange tasks. I walked a different way to the corner store and saw a piece of street art I'd never noticed. I let a music app pick a random album for me, and for 40 minutes my head was filled with someone else's words. One afternoon, a wave of sadness about the coffee maker hit me, and I just stopped. I looked at a lamp and started describing it in my head. The base is silver. It's cool when you touch it. There are a few tiny scratches near the bottom. It felt ridiculous, but it worked. The spiral stopped. This morning was day 7. I woke up and the familiar dread started to creep in. But I had my instructions. I went to the kitchen, filled a glass with water, and stood by the window. The sky was a pale, soft gray. I drank the whole glass. And the first thought that came into my mind wasn't about him. It was just, the sun is coming up. A few minutes ago, I was in the bathroom and I saw myself in the clean mirror. I stopped and really looked. The dark circles under my eyes are still there. But the panicked, haunted look is gone. In its place is just a quiet stillness. I don't look happy or even okay, really. I just look still, like someone who has walked through a long storm and is finally standing in the quiet that comes after. I saw myself, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't want to look away. I'm not fixed. I don't know when I'll feel whole again. But I'm not falling anymore. That list from a stranger on the internet became a kind of anchor. It didn't take the pain away, but it connected me back to the world. Just a little. Back to my own body. It won't make everything better overnight, but it's a start. It feels like the first step onto solid ground. So if you're reading this, and it's that time of night, just put the phone down. Just for tonight. Tomorrow you can try day 1. It's a small thing to hold on to. And sometimes that's all you need.